Hello and welcome to Wingin It. So we are back again with another World Cup game. It's been a little while since the last one, but in the background we have continued on the winning streak. So it is looking very, very good indeed for getting through to the World Cup next round, which, yeah, as I say, is really what this qualifying stage is about. Get yourself into that group stage and try and go from there. So we are going second in this game here, and yeah, let's jump into the starting hands. And again, if you've seen the thumbnail and the title for this video, you'll know this is all going to be about this one bird again, the White Stork. So yeah, had a few White Stork games since the European expansion has come out. Some that have gone well, some that have gone not so well. So it can be quite a polarizing bird, as I've talked about before. But yeah, when you see the array of birds to go alongside the White Stork here, it is definitely looking very, very tasty. So Purple Martin, kind of an obvious one to keep with the White Stork. I've talked about this before, that really, without these kind of tuck and draw birds alongside the White Stork, it can be a bit of a struggle. Because first of all, you're not able to grab birds from the tray with just a White Stork. And so if you have a tuck and draw, you can utilize that to get tray birds. But also, it just helps you cycle through the deck that little bit quicker, find the birds you want, and you're scoring points at the same time. So yeah, that's kind of a pretty straightforward combination, pretty obvious one to go for. And again, fish crow, really, really strong grassland bird. The thing with the White Stork is you're going to lay a lot of eggs. You don't have that much egg space really to make the most out of all of those eggs. So to have something like a fish crow in there, turn some of those extra eggs into food at the same time as getting birds, either through the White Stork or the Purple Martin. Yeah, just a really, really strong combination. And yeah, that's going to set me up nicely. And of course as well, this white-backed woodpecker. So this is, I would say, the second best forest bird in the game that we got introduced through the European expansion, just behind the wood duck, of course, that being the best forest bird. But yeah, for a single food, you get it down in the first round, and you can just really start getting some extra food. And I think with this setup, that is really, really key here. I think, ordinarily I might look to just go with the martin, the stork, and the fish crow, get those down and start laying some eggs, start tucking some cards, getting some food with the fish crow. But it is quite slow, only getting one food a turn through that fish crow. And I'm going to need 3 food for this White Stork. And really, I want to be getting that down as soon as possible. But also, really, I want to get that down before the martin. So having these tuck and draw birds with the White Stork, the order in which you play them is really, really important. It's so important to have the tuck and draw activate before the White Stork. So that, as I say, if there is a bird in the tray that you like, you can go ahead and grab that. So yeah, ideally I'd be looking to get the fish crow down first and then look to get the stork down. But if that's the order I'm going to do things in, I need another bird down to discard eggs off if I'm going to use the fish crow. And so of course the woodpecker can serve as that bird, but also just a way of getting a bit more food, particularly in this early game, and just helping to get things set up. So you see, that's what I go for at the end. I do keep all 4 of those birds. So it is a little bit of a greedy start, but I think when you have these kind of strong food generating birds like the woodpecker, like the fish crow, I think you could afford to be a bit more greedy, keep the extra cards, and go a bit lighter on the food, because I know, as I say, once these birds go down, I'm going to have absolutely no problems getting hold of the food to get the rest of this lovely grasslands engine set up. So you will see I kept a fish as well, rather than keeping cherry or worm to get the woodpecker down. Now, the primary reason for that is that there isn't a fish in the bird feeder, and I want to get this fish crow down, as soon as possible, really, in this first round. So I didn't feel super confident about being able to play the woodpecker and then cycle the bird feeder and be sure of getting that fish. So in the end, you see, I do decide to keep the fish, and then I get a worm on this first turn to play the woodpecker. So yeah, hopefully I can get this down. I can start getting a bit of food. And really, with this kind of setup, it is all just about trying to get it ready as quickly as possible. Because I know once I've got these birds down in the grasslands, it's going to be pretty straightforward. I'm just going to need to lay eggs. I'm going to get cards through the stork. I'm going to get points through the martin. And I'm going to get food through the fish crow as well. So yeah, you'll see there my opponent, they started up with the Pleated Woodpecker, which is another really strong forest bird. I think some people might argue that that is the second strongest or third strongest, perhaps, forest bird. It's certainly up there. And yeah, really makes me happy that I kept this woodpecker, because I'm going to be able to benefit from some of those free eggs, of course, only going into the cavity nests. if I hadn't played this white-backed woodpecker, I'd be missing out on those 3 eggs. And yeah, that can be quite a big miss, particularly in the early game when those eggs can really save a bit of tempo. So yeah, you see that, get the 3 egg. I go for the reroll. Of course, all the fish in the world come up with the bird feeder reroll. So yeah, in hindsight, maybe I could have saved a bit of tempo and taken the risk, not kept the fish. Hoped I got it on a reroll, but yeah, I just know that if I had gone with that and risked it, I would never have been able to get the fish on the reroll. But yeah, we're just going to keep going for food. You see my opponent, they played their second forest bird, they're very swift. So I think for them, it was really key to get that second cavity nest down so that at least when they are using that woodpecker, they're going to get 2 eggs. And obviously I'm only going to get 1. But yeah, I like to have that space at least to be able to benefit from that. And there you go. We've got all the food we need from that last turn, getting the food. But of course, we've got this 3 egg. So now I've got all the food I need to play both the fish crow and the white stork back to back. And I don't have to lay eggs in between those. I could just play them both. And yeah, that's going to really set the foundation for this grasslands. And then, as I say, after that, it is all just going to be about laying eggs, getting the cards, getting the food. And it's just going to be so smooth from there. So as I said, pretty straightforward plan there. You'll see I have played the fish crow and the white stork. And in the meantime, I'm still getting some free eggs as well through this pleated woodpecker, which is very nice. Obviously at the moment, egg space is a little bit on the low side, but I'm still going to take the free eggs when I can get them. But yeah, you see my opponent in the meantime, they played the European bee eater, which is another really nice grassland bird. I certainly would have been very, very happy to get that. But yeah, for them, some more cavity nest space and a good way to get food. We're laying eggs as well. So yeah, we're going to lay eggs ourselves, obviously, and activating the white stork. We get the mute swan. So for me in this position, it's not really about picking that up to play it myself. It's more just to stop my opponent getting it. So you might have seen from their board, they haven't got a wetland bird down at the moment. I've not really seen them pick up anything from the tray that could be used as a wetland bird. So mute swan, definitely one of the strongest wetland birds. And obviously, the more birds you can add to it, you're going to get extra tuck cards as well when you activate it. So yeah, I can't really see myself playing that. But yeah, definitely it's going to be a good one to deny for my opponent. And of course, laying eggs, I can use the fish crow, I can get that worm, and that purple martin is going to go straight down as well. And yeah, I mean, what a first round, to get this grasslands basically, I don't want to say complete, but kind of, on the verge of being complete is very, very nice indeed. So yeah, you will see, instead of playing the martin, we are going to lay eggs and get the extra card. And purely the reason for this is that end of round goal. So obviously laying eggs, I'm going to get an extra card here through the white stork. That's going to put me up to 3 cards in hand. Whereas if I play the martin, I'd be down at 1. And so that difference between 1 card and 3 cards, as you'll see here, that's the difference between winning and losing the end of round goal, which is, yeah, definitely a big thing to be kind of conscious of in this early game with those extra points on offer. But here we go into round 2. We have a fresh tray to look at, and we have a wood duck to look at. So yeah, I talked about it before as being the best forest bird in the game, so it's naturally going to be one that tempts me. You'll see I was thinking about just laying eggs and resetting the tray. I mean, obviously, even if I'm not going to play it, as with the mute swan, I do not want my opponent getting that. They've already got the pleated woodpecker down, and yeah, these 2 birds together, pleated woodpecker and wood duck, such a strong forest combination. So yeah, definitely not one that I want to be letting my opponent have. But you'll see there, that was kind of the struggle that you would normally observe with a white stork, is that if there is a bird in the tray that you want, you have to spend that turn gaining cards from, in this situation, a non-existent wetland. So that can definitely be painful. But yeah, now I've got this purple martin down, really, really easy that is going to be for me to grab tray birds. And who knows, maybe I'm going to play this wood duck as well, and that could be a good option to get a couple of cards from the tray while also getting food. And obviously this fish crow, as good as it is only 1 food a turn. I am going to have to worry about egg space a little bit with the pleated woodpecker filling up some of these cavity spaces. But yeah, definitely good to have options there for maybe getting a bit more food and also getting cards through the wood duck. But as I say, we're just going to keep trucking on. We're going to keep laying eggs and maybe not getting the best birds, the hawk and the willet. Not super amazing birds to be looking at. That greater Roadrunner that's just popped up in the trade definitely is an option for me to look at with the bonus card. And yeah, if I'm going to be running this Grasslands engine a lot, that's going to get some extra points as well. So yeah, definitely some options. And as I say, if I'm just going to keep laying eggs, I'm just going to be getting even more options as we go on. So yeah, we are going to grab that Roadrunner indeed. And we're going to get another good option from the White Stork pickup as well. I think that Woodpecker, already had the worm for it, so I think pretty straightforwardly here I can look to get the cherry from the Fish Crow. And yeah, that's going to be a good one to get down, I think. Just get that extra bonus card, give me some extra cavity spaces as well. So helps with the white and no powers end of round goal. Obviously, I don't have any of those at the moment, so I definitely want to be trying to target that and really maximise on that if I can. So yeah, pretty good start, I think, to the second round. Everything's starting to come together here. And obviously this Grasslands is, yeah, really shaping up very nicely. And so we jump on to the next turn. You'll see we are continuing to get these free eggs from the Pleated Woodpecker. And as mentioned, we are going to play our red cockaded woodpecker with the food we gathered. And yeah, Forester bonus card. Very nice indeed. Already got 2 birds towards that. Obviously, these 2 woodpeckers I've got. So yeah, just only needing 1 more to add to that. That's going to get me 4 points. And yeah, having picked that up, definitely got my eyes on this Carolina Wren in the tray. It's going to help for this end of round goal, not just that bonus card. It's also got a lot of egg space, so I think, as I said, egg space being quite critical in this kind of setup where I'm going to be laying eggs so many times. So yeah, felt good to be able to go and grab that. And yeah, still having some extra birds in my hand, maybe that I'm not so keen on playing. Obviously, I need to have something to tuck through the Purple Martin as well. So yeah, we can lay eggs, we can pick up the Wren, and of course get the food for that with the Fish Crow. And so with 1 turn left, pretty straightforward. My opponent, obviously at the moment, they've not got any white and no power birds down, but I can be prepared that even if they do play 1, I can really look to catch them off guard, I think, a little bit by playing this Wren and getting some extra points from the end of round goal. And so before we come to our next turn, we get a free card, as you'll see from this American Oyster Catcher that my opponent has played. So yeah, I will take that. Having these extra cards, I think, particularly, as I say, with something like the Martin, definitely good to have options. So there we go. That's the first white and no power bird that my opponent's played. So at the moment we are tying, but obviously, as I said, get the Wren down, and yeah, that's going to help with the end of our goal and get another couple of cards as well. So try off the deck, Santal Crane, Brant, not the best, but yeah, as I said, having some extra cards just to tuck under the Martin, and maybe if I'm going to be digging for a Benelli's Eagle or something like that, having those extra cards to tuck is always very welcome. So yeah, really strong position. As I said, these first 2 rounds have gone super smoothly. The deck has been very kind, and I've got no complaints really, being able to, as I say, win that first end of round goal and put myself in a really good position to win this second one as well. So yeah, we come here to the end of round, and you'll see we do win the end of round goal. So yeah, winning those first 2, very nice indeed. So yeah, we come into the third round, and I think, as I say, it's pretty straightforward at this point. It is just going to be about continuing to lay eggs. I'm going to keep getting the tuck cards, getting a bit of food from this Fish Crow, and yeah, it's going to be a combination of trying to see what I can get from the deck, but also just gradually gather the food to play these existing birds in my hand. So I think, as I said before, the Roadrunner is quite a good option, just getting that extra grassland bird down to maybe get some extra eggs, and maybe I get some predator hunts as well through that. It's going to be nice. But equally, we have got this Collared Dove, which, like the Roadrunner, is going to help for the bonus card as well, being the platform nest. So yeah, lots of options. Trying to work out what to tuck here. I think at this point, Wood Duck. Sorry, it is a little bit late for you. But yeah, definitely Brown Pelican, again, good for the bonus card. But there we go. Grey Catbird. Yeah, much more like what I'm looking for this kind of next grassland spot. Just obviously being able to tuck extra cards with the Martin. Getting extra points, getting extra card cycle is very welcome indeed. And maybe as well later in the game I can use that to copy the Fish Crow if I need some extra food to play some more birds. So just having that flexibility of being able to choose what you want to copy is very nice indeed. So yeah, as I said, pretty straightforward position. The only difficulty is just trying to decide what you want to play when you've got all these really, really nice options in front of you. So that is the challenge. But yeah, as I say, when you've got these kind of birds already in your grasslands, you can kind of breathe a little bit easy that you're not having to stress too much. And so we come ahead to the next turn. You see my opponent is continuing to draw cards there. And yeah, I'm going to go for food. So I think I kind of saw the feeder. I thought, all right, there's some food in there that I want. I've got some extra cards, thanks to the wren and obviously the oyster catcher previously, and clearly this White Stork as well, that has been doing plenty of work for me all throughout this game so far. And yeah, as I said before, the fish crow on its own, it is a little bit slow. I think particularly when I've got birds like the catbird, like that roadrunner, even the American bittern is another good option for the bonus cards, and obviously these last two end of round goals. So yeah, when you've got so many good options, you want to get them down as soon as possible. So I think, yeah, just going for that food there. Obviously, I managed to get 4 food in a single turn. That's going to really help out. Managed to get exactly the food for this catbird. So, but also I do have a couple of seeds to potentially look at getting this collared dove down, which again, it helps for this end of round goal, helps for the bonus cards, and of course it gives a bonus card itself. So yeah, I was kind of initially thinking of playing the catbird, but I think just kind of switched over to go for the turtle dove here. So let's have a look. What bonus card are we going to get? It's Wetland Scientist, which is a bit of a shame. I'm not a huge fan of that bonus card. And yeah, obviously having played the turtle dove, which doesn't meet it, I have no opportunity to maximize off that bonus card. But do you know, with the brown pelican and this bittern, obviously they both help for the platform nests, and now they help for the Wetland Scientist. So if I can find one more to meet that bonus card, it could be an option. It could be, a route worth going down. But yeah, I think at the moment, just seeing the food that I've got, enough to play the catbird, and of course this pelican as well, gives me some good options. And I think, yeah, 3 turns left. Those are the turns I'm going to try and do. Play these 2 birds and lay eggs, because we are definitely in a good position, I think, for this end of round goal. We've got plenty of platform nests. Pretty obviously synergize as well with the existing bonus card we've got. And yeah, my opponent, they've only got the Great Horned Owl, so I don't think they're going to be challenging us too much for that one. And yeah, it definitely late for the catbird, I think here. At the time I was kind of thinking, is it worth playing? Should I just keep laying eggs? But effectively, this is worth 2 points a turn. When I'm laying eggs, it gets me an extra egg and it gets me an extra tuck. And I'm going to be laying eggs quite a few more times, I think, throughout this game, obviously to get the points, but also to get a bit more food to keep playing these birds. So yeah, I would have liked to have got that down earlier, but I'm not going to complain. I think I can definitely still make use of it. So yeah, here we go. It is time for the pelican. So slightly unconventional play, I would say. Not really a bird I lean on too much. But situationally think here it was good to get that down for the bonus card. And obviously, as I said, food is definitely in short supply for me at the moment. So just getting a bit of extra fish that I know, I can use 1 fish to play the bittern. I can use 1 fish for the wild food on the roadrunner if I'm going to look to play that as well. But equally, I give myself every chance if I'm going to keep laying eggs. Maybe I find a puffin, or maybe I find a wood stork, or anything like that to go in the wetlands, obviously, for the bonus cards. But yeah, just score big points as well. So yeah, as I say, final turn of the round here, we are going to lay eggs. So we're going to keep just sort of chancing off the deck and hoping that we can find that very, very nice wetland bird. So piebald grebe, of course, does hit the bonus cards, but yeah, 0 points, not really something I'm going to strongly consider at this point. So we'll keep going from the deck. And Vireo is not a bad pickup, and neither is that common chaffinch. So yeah, potentially if I do have some extra cards, that could come into play for that sort of late grasslands or even late forest play. And similarly, I think the nutcracker, if you are going to have a bit of extra food, you can utilize that as well. But yeah, go for the chaffinch. And as I say, it just gives me an option. It's maybe not the biggest priority in the world to try and play that. But yeah, it's an option, and certainly, could potentially help out in that final round. But yeah, more strongly, I'm definitely looking at this Vireo. It obviously hits the forester as well as the platform builder. So if I can, maybe find another strong forest bird to play alongside that. Obviously, at the moment, I do have that honey buzzard, which is okay. 4 points again if I can max out the bonus cards with that. it's a good option, but ideally I'm looking for a nice big bonus card bird or something like that to hit the Forester. But there we go, end of the round. It is another end of round win, which is always, definitely good to see. And yeah, we come here into the final round. So as I said, I was really hoping for something nice in the tray, maybe a nice puffin, maybe a nice spotted owl or something like that. But yeah, it's not too much of a problem. I'm just going to keep laying eggs, and we're going to see what we get. And there we go. Cassin's Finch on the tray reset is definitely a tasty looking bird to go for that bonus card. And yeah, definitely I think if I could do that, potentially with a double play with this red-eyed vireo, that's going to hit the Forester. It's going to get me 5 out of 6 birds for the platform builder, and then I've got some good options as well in my hand to potentially go for that as well. So yeah, it was kind of a weird final round. You'll see as this kind of is developing, I'm almost giving myself too many options, and I think having options is good because you want to have choices, right? You don't want to be in a position where you're forced into doing something that you don't really want to do, because you're always kind of sat there thinking, I wish I had more to choose from here. Like I say, I almost had too much to work with here, and only 4 turns left, trying to work out what the best combination of birds to play. I found this really quite a struggle. So yeah, you'll see I'm kind of going for eggs again. I'm sort of trying to prepare maybe for some extra birds, but also obviously if I'm going to play this Cassin's Finch, I am going to need a little bit of extra food for that to hit the Forester. So yeah, we are just going to keep laying eggs, but almost that's just giving me some more options as well. So you see, there we go, we get the Great Blue Heron, which again could be a nice double play in the wetlands this time. So whereas doing the double play in the forest is going to help me hit the Forester bonus card, I now have this option for a wetlands double play that is going to hit the Wetland Scientist. So yeah, obviously extra fish as well, potentially going to help out on that one, and hit the platform nest builder as well. But as I said, it's just giving me lots more options to think about. And now with only 3 turns left, I'm really trying to go through all of the different permutations in my head. And I'm thinking, right, if I do this double play, I'm going to hit these bonus cards. If I do this double play, it's going to cost me more eggs, but I might get a bonus card. What is that going to look like? How many points is that going to give me? There's so many different options that, as I say, I did kind of get a bit overwhelmed to think here. And yeah, trying to sort of work out the food as well. I'm looking at, okay, how many 2-for-1s am I going to do? Am I going to run out of egg space? I think particularly if this Pleated Woodpecker keeps giving me eggs, I don't really want to be missing out on making the most of those free eggs. So yeah, this is kind of, I think, the turn where I was really trying to calculate and trying to think, okay, with these 3 turns left, how many birds can I realistically play? How much food is that going to cost me? Do I need to have a turn going for food, or do I need to just lay eggs and maybe copy the fish crow like I was talking about earlier in the game? Lots and lots of different choices. But yeah, here we go. After what was multiple minutes of thinking and calculating and trying to work out the best play, we are just going to keep it simple, and we're going to play this American Bittern. So obviously that's going to help a little bit with the egg space, so I know now if I'm going to lay eggs on the next turn and get this last bit of food, I don't have to worry about missing out on any of those free eggs. So yeah, I'm still not sure if I've played this completely optimally. I feel like if I could have gone for that double play, that would definitely have been better to hit the Wetland Scientist. But I think certainly in this position, I'm just trying to focus on getting the extra bonus card through obviously that Cassin's Finch. So if I can do the Vireo into Finch double play, it's going to hit the Forester, and it's going to hit the platform builder as well now with the Star Nest on the red-eyed vireo. So yeah, obviously a bit of overpaying. Those 2 extra fish, they're going to be the extra food to play the forest birds. And yeah, it's going to be gambling on the bonus cards, which in this position I probably don't need to be doing. But when you've got so many birds down like this, and you have had a strong game, I think you can normally feel pretty safe in taking that gamble on a bonus card. So yeah, here we go, on to the final turn, and it's going to be double playtime. So Vireo goes down, shouldn't matter too much where the eggs come from. Finch goes down. What is the bonus card going to be? It is going to be Omnivore Expert for 4 points, which is very, very welcome indeed. So yeah, I say it's time and time again, when you are gambling on a late bonus card, if you can get 3 or 4 points, I think you take it. So yeah, always good to get that. Sad that I couldn't quite hit the wetland scientist. You know, I think looking back, if I had been able to do that double play with the heron into the bittern and get those extra points, that would definitely been nice. So yeah, a little bit of a shame, but you know, still to be able to get that on the Vor expert for those 4 extra points, very, very welcome to get that indeed. And yeah, even without that great blue heron, we are just about able to nick that final end of round goal for a clean sweep. And here we go into the scores. So as I say, definitely felt comfortable here. This was just a very, very clean game. Maybe excluding the last 3 or 4 turns, but just that early game setup, all that tempo was super, super strong. And yeah, 19 bonus card points and that clean sweep on the end of round goals just puts me in such a strong position. So yeah, not the huge number of eggs that I was hoping for, but definitely enough tuck cards at the end to get me over the line. And it is a comfortable win, 120 points to 75. So yeah, definitely feel like this game was a good kind of showcase, I guess, of if everything goes right with the White Stork, this is what you can really look to get. And yeah, as I say, definitely the starting hand was very kind. I think the deck in the early game was very kind as well. And yeah, just obviously being able to get all those tuck cards, get plenty of bonus card points, and not really have to go too much out of my way and still win all the end of round goals was very, very nice indeed. So there we have it. That is our World Cup qualifying campaign completed. We are through into the next round, which, as I said, is always the goal here. And yeah, we now move on into the group stage proper, where 48 players have been split out into 8 groups of 6, and only the top 2 are going to go through this time. So yeah, fierce competition for sure, and I will do my best to feature as many of those games as possible on this channel. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this gameplay video, and as I say, do subscribe to this channel if you want to stay up to date with future gameplay content as well.